Skip to the End was kind of Radiofriendly.
No, I mean that was our hit, but there's still even elements of that song that are quite odd for radio. You know, I mean, like it's hard these days because to have a hit record, you kind of have to tick a lot of boxes. It's rare that you get a very unusual, unique hit single. You know, there has to be something that unites the masses in a radio song these days. You know, I mean, you know, a lot of the Beatles hits, you wouldn't get Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles on the radio nowadays.
Yeah.
It would be deemed far too out there. You know, it's just the way things are right now. And so obviously everything on our second record was a little bit too far out to be expected as a hit single.
It seemed that we released it at the very height of this kind of trend that was happening in the UK, where bands were not concentrating on making albums at all. They were making albums, in inverted commas, you know, like long plays, 10 or 12 songs, but it was all about having 2 or 3 radio-friendly songs on it. And if that happened, then the album wouldn't even be questioned. It would be like, oh, this has got these 3 hits on, the album just starts to sell. And no one ever actually looked back and thought, actually, is this a good album? No, it's not. It's got 3 good songs in it and the rest is rubbish. You know, this is something that we deliberately tried not to do. As a result of that, we didn't concentrate on singles. We just wanted to make an album, but weren't really smart enough to realise that albums aren't what people want. They want songs, individual songs. The attention span of people has kind of been reduced by 85% over the past 5 years. And suddenly everyone wants to have their music on a shuffle. So it doesn't matter what album it's from if it's on a shuffle, because it's that song by that band, blah, 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 different band every time. What is an album?
And people who are buying music have become more and more intrigued or obsessed with sales figures and things like that. You know, the mystique of the music industry has kind of crept into everyday language for a lot of people. You know, they concentrate on how many records you've sold, or what territories you're doing well in, or
what playlist you're on.
Yeah, just things that, like, you know, traditionally wouldn't really be of interest to anyone other than
managers,
music industry representatives. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like that's the negative side of the internet blowing the whole music landscape open for everybody. You know, the upside of it is that anyone who's a musician can get their music out there. It's been easier than ever before for young bands to succeed. But the negative side of it is that now everybody who's interested in music thinks they know everything about the music industry.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, back to then to 2006, you get a bit frustrated with the label. Did it also, that frustration, was it also in the band? You know?
I think.
Have you ever thought of, well, let's quit or something like that?
No, we never did. We always, I think for a while we were kind of in a little bit of denial about it. We're kind of a little bit burying our head in the sands, thinking, oh, we'll be all right, you know, this is just, it's just a bit of a glitch, you know. We'll get to make, you know, they'll keep us.
But I mean, but why would we not, though? You kind of have to have that unwavering self-belief, don't you? Because otherwise, it's like, if we haven't got this, then what have we got? You know, there's absolutely no reason for us to split up at that point.
Yeah.
Because we all feel like we're good at what we do. We all feel like we had a lot more to say, and we felt like they were wrong when they dropped us. It wasn't like we said, oh yeah, you're right. We're crap now. We're shit all of a sudden. We don't have anything to say. We can't make a contribution. We felt like they made a mistake. So that's kind of what inspired the whole new album, really.